In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can map between your Craft.io's fields and issues to the respective fields that you have in Azure DevOps. Let's head to the Integrations menu under the Workspace Settings and open the Field and Type Mapping. This section would also appear as soon as you complete the initial integration. The first thing that we need to address is the primary types. Here, essentially, you map between the data model that you have in Craft.io to the respective data model and hierarchy that you have in ADO, meaning the different parent-child relationship we define here. By default, the epic level would map into the product level in Craft. It's important to bear that in mind because the product level in Craft is meant for grouping purposes rather than using it as items that have a start date and an end date. So you cannot place it on the roadmap. Rather than it's more meant to create clear differentiation and distinction of your product. So whether it's different themes or different domains or different product areas, that's what we utilize the product level in Craft for. So if the epic level in your ADO project is actually meant to be work items that are later placed on the roadmap and waiting for deployment, then I would recommend to ignore this level and push the entire hierarchy one level down. Then you'll be able to utilize the product area, the product level in Craft for your own definitions and map the epics to epics, features, and sub-features. In the next section, this is where you map the primary fields. When it comes to ADO areas, this is most used to differentiate between different teams or different squads. So if you do utilize the ADO areas, it's highly recommended to enable the mapping of the areas. And by that, once you sync items from your Craft.io workspace to ADO, you can select which area those items will sync across to, and that is very useful to reduce any confusion and to place those items in the right location. If you're measuring your dev effort with story points, you can map the story points as well. And by default, the importance in Craft maps into priority in ADO. If you would like to map the releases, then it's recommended to create a corresponding custom field in ADO. When it comes to creating custom fields and mapping between ADO custom fields to your Craft.io custom fields, it's important to bear in mind that the field type would be identical. That is mapping numerical fields to numerical fields in ADO. Same goes for single selection fields in ADO. You would be required to create a corresponding single selection field in Craft in order to create a match between the two. You can map the default fields as well, such as effort or labels. So labels would map to tags. And at the bottom, you have any custom field that you already created in your Craft.io workspace, which can be mapped to a corresponding field in ADO.